at this point, I really do believe that bread, egg, baked beans, and arugula is just a part of my brand. If you guys haven't tried this yet, make sure you try it out. Something about the baked beans and the toast and just everything. Let's give this hen period a pop. Oh, yeah, look at that. Guys, come on. Come on. This isn't fair. This is not fair. All right, so I've made a few finance related videos on my channel, and apparently some of you guys find it pretty helpful. So today I thought it'd be interesting to kind of compare my expenses pre-quarantine and COVID and compare them to now and see how my expenses and spendings have changed. But keep in mind that I am not like a financial advisor. I'm just sharing what system works for me. For those of you guys who haven't seen any of my other finance related videos, click on the link on the top right hand corner. But basically I just use a basic Excel spreadsheet and I just physically track every single transaction. I got a few comments on those videos on why I don't use like those apps that automatically link with your bank account and just automatically categorizes them. I do use QuickBooks, which is like the accounting software or bookkeeping software that I use for my business. However, when it comes to actually seeing what I spend, I prefer to actually write them down myself, just because it kind of increases that friction between you and your spending. It's kind of similar to how people opt to use cash instead of using a credit card, just because they can actually feel the loss of cash rather than just like tapping. So at the end of the day, you just got to find a system that works for you. But I've been using this Excel spreadsheet system for well over a year now, and it's been working really good. Basically, I just sit down maybe like twice a week and spend maybe 5 minutes kind of writing down all of my expenses, and I color code them so I can really see, you know, what I am spending money on and just kind of reflect. But yeah, other than that, today I'm going to be comparing my expenses and spendings for March and April, because I feel like, you know, shit really hit the fan in like mid to late March, and then April was full on quarantine. So first, I just want to start off with the category that didn't really see any changes, which are the business/subscription. So those are things like Apple Music, Squarespace, Epidemic Sounds, Netflix, QuickBooks, Photoshop, Lightroom, and that kind of things. Obviously they didn't change. But when it comes to the personal spendings, like just look at the difference between the size of the columns. Like it is, I don't know, I want to say from visually, it looks like about 50% I spent less. So first, taking a look at March, obviously the rent and insurance hasn't changed, but just looking at it, there are so many like little purchases, shoppers. I got a hat, compass. The compass is like the transit card in Vancouver, so it auto loads when it goes below a certain threshold. And because in early March I was still training clients, I'd have to take the bus there and take the bus back, and that just really added up when it came to like bus fare and things like that. So I believe I reloaded the compass card a few times this month, especially in the beginning. You guys can also see on March 4th, there's an Apple Watch for $350. I got a few questions saying why I got the Apple Watch. So in the beginning, about 3 years ago, I got the Series 1, which was the first Apple Watch, and I primarily used it for like the timer and interval training and changing music, because I was a trainer doing group fitness classes, so it was very handy to have one. And then throughout the 3 years, it just became, you know, something that I got very reliant on. And then a month before moving to Vancouver, I actually lost my watch, and I was kind of hesitant on whether I should repurchase it or not. But yeah, throughout that month of not having a watch, I just realized that yes, I do really require one when it comes to group fitness and training. It just really helps to have one. Obviously, I don't need it, but it does really help. So I took that month to really think about whether I needed it. And then I guess 2 months later, I ended up purchasing a Apple Watch. So I got the Series 3 because I just don't need the latest and greatest. But yeah, that is that. Another transaction for a hat. This was in the stage of where I was like really trying to find that like perfect black hat, like the front brim ones. I honestly still haven't found it. A haircut on the 8th, which I so dearly need. I don't know if you guys see this, but you know, I'm just gonna keep growing it out. It's not like the end of the world. It's definitely a first world problem, but as you guys can see, there's also Uber. Moto is a car share program that we have in Vancouver. Walmart, I took a cab, the compass card again for some reason, another Uber. So there was a lot of like transporting especially in like the beginning and mid of March. I guess I took the Uber and cab more just because I was trying to decrease the public transport usage. And then there's a cell phone, which is $75. I got something from Amazon. I got a hard drive. The hard drive I usually probably get like 3 to 4 times a year, depending on how much I film for YouTube. And then I got the utilities. The utilities were $39, and on the 25th, another one for $192. That's because I believe 150 of that was a deposit, so that's usually not how much it actually is. That was just for the first utilities. And then internet, I pay $86. Now let's compare the personal spendings from March to April, and as you guys can see, it is about 50% smaller. So we got rent, insurance, we got one thing for Moto, which is I believe from the previous month. We got the cell phone, which is $74, which is exactly the same. However, I did pay off my phone now, so for the next bill, my phone bill will only be like $55, which is clutch. We got something for shoppers, we got a thing from Amazon, and then I was doing really good, like not purchasing anything. As you guys can see, up to the 25th, I got one thing from Amazon. I think it was some like disinfectant wipes, because they ran out. And then on the 25th of April, I picked up some rollerblades as well as some shoes for Jasper. If you guys saw my previous video, I mentioned that I started rollerblading a lot more, not just as a means of, you know, spending more time outside, but also I want to use rollerblading as a form of commuting. Instead of biking, I'm sure I might end up getting a bike in the future, but it's just a lot more portable and convenient. So that's why I picked up the rollerblades. I thought about it for like a month. I was like, do I really need rollerblades? And I got them, and I love them. So really try to like give yourself time to really just think about it and try going, you know, 2-3 weeks without something and see if you are still continuously thinking about it. A lot of times when we do the like one-click buy options from Amazon, we really don't need it or even want it. It's just there. So just, you know, take that into account. And then next we got the utilities. These are, I guess, a bit more normal. So $22 and $39. This is for a studio apartment. And then at the end is $86 for internet. I do have like the highest top of the tier, like 300 megabytes up or whatever it is. So that's why it is a bit more expensive. So yeah, it's crazy to see the differences in spendings just within a month, how so much has changed. Now when it comes to the total for the personal spending section, for March was $3,209, and for April for personal spendings was $2,370. So saved a good chunk of cash staying home a lot more. But I'm also excited to check out the next section, which is going to be food/drinks. So this includes like groceries, eating out, coffee, etc. So going back to March, so as you guys can see, the blue is all of the coffee and eating out, and the green are for groceries. So in March, you know, I was just getting coffee, getting Skip maybe once a week, getting some more coffee, and doing the weekly grocery trips. Yeah, I went out for brunch, more coffee, more coffee, more coffee. For those of you guys who don't know, I primarily work out of coffee shops instead of spending, you know, all of my time in my cramped studio apartment. Just bring my laptop, work from a coffee shop, grab a coffee or two, and it's just a nice time. So it's not that I'm like addicted to coffee necessarily, just a little bit addicted, but it's just a place where I work out of. Then we got groceries, and then we got some dinner with some friends. I picked up some coffee beans, and then groceries. And then as you guys can see, in late March is when everything really slowed down when in terms of like going out. You don't really see that many lines. I got one for Freshie, which we got to go, and then I got Skip ones, and then coffee beans. So yeah, definitely interesting to see like the reduction of frequency when it comes to like the end of the month, because that's when the physical distancing got a lot more serious. And then when it comes to April, it's a lot smaller. It's mostly just grocery hauls, groceries, coffee beans, and then I got takeout pizza, groceries, got more coffee beans, and then I skipped the dishes, some sushi. It was not good sushi. It was just like literally a ball of rice, and then some more groceries. So, you know, it was a lot quieter of a month when it came to food and spendings in April versus March, but when you look at the actual difference, in March I spent $738 in total for food, drinks, and eating out and groceries, whereas in April I spent $600. So it is definitely a drop, and I saved some money, but obviously there was that increase in grocery bills. But obviously I don't really mind with the increase in grocery bills because I was cooking a lot more from home, producing a lot less waste when it came to like packaging and food waste. So yeah, there are definitely a few things I learned by comparing the 2 months. I really don't need to be spending that much money on kind of, I don't know what you call it, but like little frills that I would like just get little things, even though I am like very, very conscious of how I'm spending my money, energy, and time. You know, obviously by comparing these two, spending a lot more time at home really does force you to be even more hypercritical of that. But also another thing I realized is that I really do enjoy my time spending, you know, just eating with friends, going out for food and drinks, just eating in general, and also going out for coffee, of course. So, you know, I don't really mind spending money on those type of experiences. And that's definitely something I miss the most. It's just going out with friends and just grabbing some good food. Like, that's just the one thing I really want to do. I'd love to know how your guys' personal spending have changed from March to April to May, and how COVID and being kind of distant away from people has either, you know, made you spend more or spend less. Just to clarify, minimalism for myself isn't about saving money. I am perfectly happy to invest more into things that are going to last longer, but I just found it to be really interesting to compare the 2 months. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it for this video. Let me show you guys Jasper, because he hasn't been in this vlog yet. Jasper, can you please say hello to your fans? Jasper is slept, like he's very, very tired. But other than that, I think that's pretty much it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, share with your friends and family, and yeah, comment below how your spendings have changed due to COVID. Other than that, hope you guys are doing well. You know, I feel like a lot more places are definitely, I guess, transitioning more into normalcy. BC is definitely, you know, slowly but surely doing so. So it's gonna be, I don't know, pretty exciting for the next couple weeks, see how things are changing. But other than that, thank you guys for watching, and remember to be less shitty, right, Jasper? Remember to be less shitty.